Hello everyone, my name is Brayden, this is Airless Cool 9, and in today's video we're going to have a chat about the 2024 Bard. I'm here with my friend Xavier. Hi Xavier.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Yep. And,
I
oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I'm a D&D tabletop nerd, and I play a lot of bards.
Yeah, exactly, we're both D&D tabletop nerds here. But yeah, we're just going to take a look at the changes to Bard. There actually are quite a few, so we'll talk about them because yeah, they've made some interesting changes. I'll save the changes from the table just so we can talk, but we'll talk about some of the changes here real quick. So, there is a core Bard traits table, and then the Bard features table. This is more of just a rundown of things. So of course, Bards are still charisma based, still D8 hit die, still Dex and Charisma saving throws. And they still get 3 skills of any choice that they want, which is nice. Interestingly enough, weapon proficiencies has been changed just to simple weapons.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
they now don't keep, they don't have hand crossbows, long swords, rippers, and short swords by default. That's dependent on what subclasses they might choose now.
Oh, okay. So you will start off with like a basic like short sword or something.
Yeah, or
Okay.
because they have this is their new format for starting equipment too, so you can either choose A or B. B is
Hmm.
just here's 90 gold pieces, buy whatever equipment you want, and A would be leather armor, 2 daggers, a musical instrument of your choice, and entertainer's pack, and 19 gold pieces left over, which this should just add up to 90 gold,
Okay.
roughly. Yeah. Other than that, I think that's the only change is that they got these 4 weapon proficiencies taken away, starting off, which I think is an interesting change. But I I think the reason, if I had to think of a reason that they did this, I think the main reason is so that rapier's not the default go-to for bards.
How dare you?
I mean, it is the default weapon for like every
You only had
2014
so
bard.
much. How could you?
I don't know why. I don't know why they took away those 4 weapon proficiencies, but they did. I don't think it's a bad thing though, because as we'll talk about, they've given bards so much more extra things. Um, let's see here. So, the new spellcasting classes don't have known spells anymore. All spellcasting classes have these prepared spells column, so it gives them a number of prepared spells that they know on hand.
Hmm.
So bards prepare their spells, but you still can't swap them out until you gain a level. So this is more of just a rename.
Mhm. The
Um,
spell, you know.
but it does scale differently. They do get more spells known, relatively, because I think it's the same up to 4th level here, and then they jump to 9 spells at 5th level, and then it keeps that change. It kind of goes back and forth a little bit, but it's relatively the same, and it does cap off at 22. So you still get to the same area. But there are but some subclasses get always prepared spells too, so this kind of balances itself out.
Okay. Hmm.
Other than that, expertise has been moved from 3rd level to 2nd level,
Yes.
and the 10th level expertise has been moved down to 9th level.
All right.
Counter Charm has been moved from 6th level to 7th level, but has seen some major changes. Um, Song of Rest no longer exists.
Oh, was it replaced with something new?
No, not specifically.
Hmm.
They just took it
All
out,
right.
but that's because they're moving away from the bards have to be instrumental
Oh,
or
all right.
song based because they added in a new subclass as well. What else did they change? Um, Superior Inspiration, the 20th level feature, is moved down to 18th level, and they now have a new capstone.
Oh,
Yeah, and
without
and
without
the
spoiling it,
is it better?
yes.
Yes, it is better.
All right. My
Yeah.
curiosity was going to get the best of me.
Yeah, and then for every class, the 19th level ability score improvement has just been named to Epic Boon because you can choose an Epic Boon at 19th level and not just a ability score improvement feat or some other feat. So it gives you some extra variety. So, we'll talk about Bardic Inspiration first because they did make some change to it. It's it's a it's kind of a significant change. So, but well, first off, Bardic Inspiration now lasts an hour instead of 10 minutes, which is a significant
Oh,
increase.
very much so.
And you use Bardic Inspiration when you fail a ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Hmm.
You don't
There's
roll it beforehand.
there's no longer an addition. It's a fail and
Yes,
scenario.
it's a you roll Bardic Inspiration when you fail a D20 test to potentially turn it into a success. So
I'm actually okay with that. That's not a
yeah,
bad change.
yeah, no, I don't think that's a bad change because most of the time you forget you have it anyways.
Hmm. And it also, with that extra time, it also opens it up to be used outside of battle.
That is also true. The number of uses is still the same. It's still charisma modifier per long rest, at least at first level, and it still scales the exact same way. So D8 at
Okay.
5th level, D10 at 10th level, D12 at 15th level. Spell casting is relatively the same. You still start off with 2 cantrips. It does have a suggested list, which isn't horrible. Dancing Lights and Vicious Mockery.
Good. Good choices.
Vicious Mockery did get a boost in 2024 though, and now deals a D6 damage instead of a D4.
Ha! Better trash talk. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, just in case you didn't know, you couldn't replace your cantrips when you leveled up as a bard originally. That was something that was provided in Tasha's Cauldron of everything, so you can do that now.
oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, you couldn't replace.
Mandela effect. I feel.
Yeah, you couldn't replace cantrips whenever you gained a level,
Huh.
in
All
the
right
at
then.
least in the old versions, but you can now, so it's
All
okay.
right, I'm here for it. That's a plus.
You still get additional one at 4th and 10th level as normal. You still regain all spells when you finish a long rest. Um, their suggested spell list, at least at level 1, is Charm Person, Color Spray, Dissonant Whispers, and Healing Word. Of these spells, Healing Word was increased to 2d4 plus your Wisdom modifier in healing, plus 2d4 per spell level above first, so that's decent healing. And then Color Spray is now a con save, or you become blinded. It's not based on hit points anymore. It's a code
Okay,
that can blind creatures.
that just feels better. I never really used that spell otherwise.
I know no one used color spray. It wasn't that great. Yeah, now it's just a 15-foot cone that can blind creatures until the end of your next turn if they fail a con save. So
Alright, bet.
yeah, it's not bad. Other than that, I don't think any of this stuff has changed. Like I said, you can only change spells when you gain a level, and it's only one spell on your list. Whenever you gain a level, you can swap out. But that was pretty much how it was before. So
Am I changing that
no.
aspect?
Jack of all trades, no changes. It's still well, actually, no. There is a significant change. It's add half your proficiency bonus to any ability check you make that uses a skill proficiency you lack. So a jack of all trades doesn't apply to initiative rolls anymore,
Okay.
which is, I guess, it's kind of sad.
We
But
needed it.
if I'll be honest, it took me a long time to realize that it applied to initiative rolls
Fair.
originally, so
Mhm.
not too bad of a change. But expertise was moved down to second level, so you get two expertises, and then you get an additional two at ninth level, which is pretty nice, instead of third level and 10th level. So it's a little bit quicker in that case. Bard subclasses are still third level, and then sixth level, and then 14th level, as they were before. The ones that they put in this book are College of Dance, which is completely new. They revamped College of Glamour, and College of Lore, and College of Valor are still in here from 2014.
Alright.
And pretty much every single subclass has seen changes. At least these three that were present.
See, my first ever bard was a lore bard, so I'm curious on the fundamental changes there.
Yeah. I know there's at least one change, so we'll take a look at it.
Alright.
So ability score improvements, there's now an ability score improvement feat that you take. Or you can just choose a different feat for which you qualify. So the 2024 now encourages you, hey, take an ability score improvement feat, or take any feat that you um, are able to take, which is kind of nice. It's more feat forward than the old version.
Okay. That widens the net. I like it.
Yeah, and there are a lot of feats. I think there's like 70 something feats, I think, in this book.
Oh, another list to learn. I'm here for
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Okay, so font of inspiration actually has a change. So
Alright.
so it does have this part where you regain all uses of bardic inspiration when you finish a short or long rest now. So it has that improvement. But you could also expend a spell slot to regain a bardic inspiration use,
Oh.
which was not present. So now you can use bardic inspiration a lot more if you want.
Oh, I can see that being fun.
Yeah, which I'm kind of here
And
for.
and in a non-combat heavy game where spell slots could be used more fluidly, that is like a very fun new aspect for it.
Yeah. Also, whenever you get higher levels too, first level spell slots are the ones that you tend not to use as often. So
Fair.
just expending them to regain uses of Arctic inspiration for all your other features will probably be pretty useful. That's a guaranteed at least another four Bardic inspiration uses. It's also not an
Okay.
action. It's also no action to do so. You see, you can regain the Bardic inspiration use that you're wanting to use when you use it.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. In this context, so would it be considered a free action?
Yeah, basically.
In combat, could you dump multiple spell slots to get a certain number of inspirations back?
Yeah, you could dump as many spell slots as you wanted to get Bardic inspiration uses back.
Oh. Alright, bet. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Okay. Counter Charm, like I said, was moved to 7th level instead of 6th level,
Mhm.
but it's been completely changed. So, when you or a creature within 30 feet of you fails a saving throw against an effect that applies to Charmed or Frightened condition, you can take a reaction to cause the save to be re-rolled, and the new roll has advantage.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is actually pretty good because you fail the saving throw, you or a creature that you choose fails a saving throw, but then they get to re-roll it, and they get 2 rolls because they have advantage on the re-roll.
They're I feel like they're making Bard the "we will never fail as long as I'm trying hard enough," and if that's the model, I'm here. I love it. That's
Yeah,
how I play all my Bards.
I like this change a lot. This is so much better than the Scatter Charm, which I don't even want to read because I hate it. Magical Secrets is slightly different. So it's interesting how they've changed it. So whenever you gain a level in Bard, including the 10th level, where you gain this feature, you can choose new spells that you learn from the Bard, Cleric, Druid, or Wizard spell list. So you basically gain access to 4 spell lists that you can choose spells from at this point. And whenever you
Oh,
replace a spell when you level up, you can replace it from any of those 4 spell lists as well. So in theory, you could have a spell list that's mostly Cleric, Druid, or Wizard spells and not Bard spells once you gain this feature.
I can see some fun roleplay opportunities come from that.
Yeah.
Just like a I'm just thinking like Satyr, uh, ba- like Satyr Bard using more nature aesthetics.
Mhm. And the way that they talked about it, Cleric, Druid, and Wizard and company, or yeah, they encompass the like the 3 different types of magic in D&D, which are divine, primal, and arcane spells. So it's almost every spell in the game, but it's not every spell in the game. So you're not jumping on or you're not stepping on the toes of classes like the warlock or the paladin or the ranger that have special spells like Hunter's Mark and Eldritch Blast and Divine Smite. So you can't take those types of spells, but you pretty
Mhm.
much have access to every other spell in the game. But
Okay. No,
yeah, and Old Magical Secrets did give you access to any spell, but it was only 2 at 10th level, and then you gain an additional 2 at 14th level and additional 2 at 18th level. So overall, this is a lot more spells and a lot more variety than the old Magical Secrets. It's just not as broad, but I think it's good that they kind of um, put a limitation on what you could choose since they opened it up that much.
okay. No, I agree. It focuses in a way that feels a lot more cohesive to at least role playing experience. So yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I don't think it I don't I think this is I think this is a good change and also provides some access to some really good spells. Also,
I just
I like the idea of replacing almost every spell you have with a different spell from from a spell from a different spell list. It's kind of
I'm
funny.
just here. I'm here for a bard and inflict wounds.
Yeah, you could just play a bard that has all cleric spells if you wanted to at that point. Um yeah, so at 18th level the capstone feature has been moved down to this level. It is slightly different. So when you roll initiative, you regain expended uses of bardic inspiration until you have 2 or fewer. If you had fewer than that, or if you or until you regain expended uses of bardic inspiration until you have 2. If you had fewer than that when you rolled initiative.
Okay.
Yeah, the old
I see.
version just gave you one, so it's slightly better, but this is still not a great feature.
It's there. It always
Yeah,
has been.
yeah, it's there. I guess if you're out of bardic inspiration, but you really
If you're
shouldn't
not
be.
busting first level spell slots.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be if you're taking a short rests or expending spell slots to regain inspiration. Or maybe you're not expending spell slots to gain inspiration, so you can use this feature at 18th level. But I digress. It's there. It's a thing. It's a thing
It's
you
been
have.
there.
19th level, like I said, is an epic boon, so you gain an epic boon feat. Or you could choose another feat of your choice if you that you qualify for. But I mean, you should choose an epic boon feat because they are better than every other feat in the game.
All right.
And then the new capstone feature is called Words of Creation. So, you always have the power word heal and power word kill spells prepared.
What?
And whenever you cast either spell, you can target a second creature that's within 10 feet of the first target.
That is wild.
Yeah, so, and they did change power word kill slightly. Power word heal is pretty good. It makes the target regain all their hit points. And if they have the charmed, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned condition, the condition ends for them. And then if the creature's prone, they can use their reaction just to stand up. So that's a pretty decent spell. It is a 9th level spell.
True, but the fact you just get one of either.
Yeah. And then power word kill, it does the same thing. So if the target has 100 hit points or fewer, it dies. But if they happen to have more than 100 hit points, they take 12d12 psychic damage. So it doesn't do nothing.
Okay, that just makes it better.
And this feature lets you target 2 creatures potentially with it.
So 2 max HP back or
Yeah.
24 psychic damage being yeeted
Yeah,
towards 2 directions.
24d10 psychic or 24d12 psychic
12.
damage.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
so much better capstone, obviously. And I like the flavor text of they're mastering the words of creation. At
Of
least
life
the
and
words of
death.
life and death.
Uh, I can already think it's just some of the cursed castings of that spell.
Yeah,
I'm still here.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, I feel like the power kill double tap could be pretty bad,
oh yeah,
depending
no.
depending on who you're targeting.
Like this is so much better than the Bardic Inspiration. All right, let's re-roll and hope I get a better initiative.
Yeah, I would still have preferred to see this even lower than 18th level, like
See,
maybe 11th
mhm.
level. But I mean, it's fine where it is. This is much better. Is the main point.
No, I agree. Oh, seems like a marked upgrade for Bard.
Yeah, at least for the base class itself is definitely an improvement. Let me see. They did get a couple new spells. So Starry Wisp is a new spell. It's a ranged attack roll cantrip that deals 1d8 radiant damage. And then the target that it hits emits dim light in a 10-foot radius and can't benefit from the invisible condition. That's not bad. Bards don't really have any. They didn't have any ranged attack spells. Vicious Mockery is a saving throw.
Mm,
True Strike is also quite different, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. Just let it be said that now it basically works like Booming Blade and Flame or Green Flame Blade, where you can have it deal radiant damage and it deals additional damage when you gain levels.
Okay, so is him a more likely to get a more than likely to get a non-0% use right now.
Yes, and this is also something that you'll potentially want to use when you're playing a Valor board, like we'll talk about, because they got
All right.
some boosts. Other than that, I don't know if they got any new spells that were added in here. Actually, there are some new spells. Oh yeah, Font of Moonlight is a new spell. Lets your attack rolls deal, or your melee attacks deal extra radiant damage, and you gain resistance to radiant damage, so that's kind of cool. You could also potentially blind creatures as a reaction when they hit you.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun for melee builds.
Yeah. There's a new spell called Yolanda's Regal Presence at 5th level, which deals psychic damage and prones and pushes targets away from you on a failed wisdom save, which is kind of cool.
What level spell is this?
5th level?
Okay.
It's a it's an emanation, so it's like a radius around you.
All right, I like it.
Power Word Fortify is a new spell. It gives 70 or 120 temporary hit points, which you can divide among up to 6 creatures, or
Or
just
just tank.
or just put it on one creature. So that's not bad. That's a 7th level spell. Other than that, there's not really any new things. Befuddlement is just the new naming of Feeble Mind.
Okay.
But yeah. So the first subclass that we'll look at is the Call of the Dance, which is this character here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm loving the tap dancing ballet esque energy.
Yeah. It looks like one of those characters on like what's the dancing show on TV?
Dancing with the stars.
Yeah, Dancing with the Stars. It looks like something that someone would wear on that.
Yes, it's the mini jacket. The petticoat itself is giving me everything.
Yeah.
The flower is not is helping as well.
Yep. So the whole idea behind this subclass is like this bard can funnel the words of creation into like their movement rather than through speech and song. So that's how they like display their power. So their first feature is called Dazzling Footwork, which they get at 3rd level. They have advantage on charisma performance checks that involve dancing, which is kind of good.
Needed.
Oh, they gain these benefits while they aren't wearing armor or wielding a shield, by the way.
Ah.
They have an unarmored defense, which is 10 plus dexterity and charisma modifiers. So that's kind of cool.
Okay, that's helpful.
When they expend a use of Bardic Inspiration as part of an action, bonus action, or reaction, they can also make an unarmed strike as part of that action.
As so we can make an unmarked strike as an action, bonus action, or reaction.
Yeah, when they expend Bardic Inspiration,
Oh, that's good.
like part of the same action. And then their unarmed strikes actually use their Bardic Inspiration die for damage, and it scales with their Dex modifier instead of Strength.
I'm making a capoeira bard, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
As I'm making. I
Yeah.
like the idea. It's so unique.
Yeah. At 6th level, they actually get 2 features. So the first one, Inspiring Movement, it says when an enemy you can see ends its turn within 5 feet of you, you can take a reaction and expend 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration to move up to half your speed. Then one ally every choice within 30 feet of you can also move up to half their speed using their reaction, and none of the features' movement provokes opportunity attacks. This is basically just free movement, which is kind of nice. Also, keep in mind they can punch the creature before they move when they use this feature. This is a reaction. Say, I gotta fly, punch.
Punch.
And then the other feature called Tandem Footwork at 6th level is really good. It says when you roll initiative, you can expend one use of your Bardic Inspiration if you don't have the incapacitated condition. When you do so, roll your Bardic Inspiration die. You and each ally within 30 feet of you who can see or hear you gains a bonus to initiative equal to the number rolled.
Oh,
Uh,
I like that a lot.
yeah, so this actually wouldn't give you a free punch because it's not using any type of action when you spend the Bardic Inspiration. But this is a bonus to all initiative rolls. So this is pretty cool. I like I like improving initiative in combat. And then the last feature they get at level 14 is called Leading Evasion, which is evasion. When they need to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, they instead take no damage if they succeed and only half if they fail. But the interesting part of this is if any creatures within 5 feet of them are making the same dexterity saving throw, they can share this benefit with them for that save, as long as you're not incapacitated.
Oh, that's a fun thing at higher levels, especially with like some higher damage AoE attacks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spec-
that's neat.
yeah, that's kind of this is kind of cool.
Combine that with Rogue and no one's being touched ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, the rogue can be off doing whatever they want and get the invasion. You're helping everyone else in the party because you stayed with them.
Everyone do the cha-cha slide. Dodges fireball.
Yeah. Okay, now we get to look at some of the rework classes. So here's the College of Glamour. I love this.
That
This
is
this art's great.
oh, that's great. That's even it's such a cool piece.
This is like a
Flaming
rock.
Star Child.
Yeah, basically, it's really cool art, is what it is.
I just realized the loot. I'm like,
Yeah, like this is like full on rocker girl, is what this is telling me. But
all right,
yeah, College of Glamour is all about beguiling magic of the Feywild. Um, so they have some reworked features here. So a Thralling Performance is no longer here. It's been essentially replaced with this beguiling magic feature. So they always have the Charm Person and Mirror Image spells prepared, which are nice spells. Specifically Mirror Image. It's a really nice spell. In addition, immediately after you cast an enchantment or illusion spell using a spell slot, you can cause a creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the target has the charmed or frightened condition, your choice, for 1 minute. The target repeats the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. And then once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. But you can also restore your use of it by expending one of your Bardic Inspiration. No action required to do so. So this is
well
kind of
then.
cool. This is a cool feature. And
No,
this,
I know I like it.
yeah, and this replaced the feature where if you perform for 1 minute, you could potentially charm uh, a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier that were listening to you. So I think yeah, this has slightly more application than Throng Performance did.
I like the fear condition. And anything that gives more fear condition, it allows for like battlefield control. I like so.
Yeah,
I'm green stamp happy with this.
yeah. I like the choice that you can choose Charmed or Frightened. That's pretty nice. And then I like that you can also give yourself more uses of it if you want. But I also like always prepared spells. Those are pretty nice. The other third level feature, Mantle of Inspiration, I think is pretty much the same, but there is a slight change that is pretty good. So as a bonus action, you expend a use of Bardic Inspiration and roll the Bardic Inspiration die. When you do so, choose a number of other creatures within 60 feet of yourself, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier. Minimum of one creature. If for some reason you had a really low charisma, which you shouldn't. Um, each of those creatures gains a number of temporary hit points equal to 2 times the number rolled on the Bardic Inspiration die. And then each creature can use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. I like these reaction movement abilities.
A lot of reaction play. I'm noticing.
Yeah, it's I like it because it's nice battlefield control.
Mm.
Um, but really the main boost to this was the number of hit points used to be a set number, so it used to be just 5 temp HP, and then it would scale to 8 at 5th level, 11 at 10th level, and 14 at 15th level. Now it's 2 times the number you roll on the Bardic Inspiration die. So this could potentially go as high as 24 at 15th level if you maxed out your D12 die. So
Yes,
that's pretty nice, and that's also to number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier. That's potentially a lot of temporary hit points that you're passing out.
especially if you can use if you use different and bardic inspirations, it could help out with that. So you just keep proccing extra temp HP.
Yeah, and like we discussed earlier, it's a lot easier to make sure that you have uses of Bardic Inspiration to use these features.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this is a very small change to Mantle of Inspiration, but I do like it slightly more than the old version. Just because it has the potential of being more temp HP, but it does the exact same thing, which this was a good feature, but I do like the
No,
temp
slight
HP.
boost was helpful.
Yeah. I also like a little bit of risk in my features too. So I like being able to roll, and then maybe I roll really bad, or maybe I roll really good. But it's not gonna change the fact that everyone can move as a reaction if they want to. But yeah.
I'm I'm just imagining the different battlefield control scenarios from just these first two things.
Hmm.
Very interesting.
All right, let's look at Mantle of Majesty. So the first change is that you always have the command spell prepared. So there's a third free spell that you get as a Glamour Bard, which is pretty cool. But that's pretty good because this feature uses command. So as a bonus action, you can cast command without expending a spell slot, and then you take on an unearthly appearance for 1 minute or until your concentration ends. During this time, you can cast command as a bonus action without expending a spell slot. And any
Hmm.
creature charmed by you automatically fails its saving throw against the command that you cast with this feature. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, but you can also restore your use of it by expending a level 3 or higher spell slot. No action required when you do so. So this is
Well,
a very good feature. Command is pretty decent. It doesn't do too much, but basically this is essentially 11 free castings of command every if it lasts the full minute, which is pretty significant. And then if you also oh, I didn't mean to press that. But if the creature's charmed, they automatically fail to save as well. So that's pretty cool. Which you could proc off
mhm.
with your beguiling magic feature because command is an enchantment spell. So if you proc the first command off, you could charm them and then cast command on them every turn with this feature.
The petty plays. Yes.
Yeah.
Those some good ones.
Approach, drop, flee, grovel are all. These are some pretty good commands.
With some creative story play, you can do almost anything.
Yeah. So I like that this is a good feature, but basically the main change here is you can use it more than once now because you can gain it back with the spell slot, and it gives you the command spell always prepared. That's really the main buff to this, which is pretty good. Because you used to be only able to do this once per long rest. So now that you can do it more, that makes it better, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So you could
Yep.
do some pretty devastating things, especially if the target that you cast command on is charmed. Because then they can't protest.
You're charmed. Drop your weapon. Doom.
Drop your weapon.
Bounce that
Now
off.
grovel before me. Grovel before
Damn, guys, I think we won.
me. And then level 14. This feature is different, and we'll talk about it because it is kind of nerfed. So, as a bonus action, you assume a magically majestic presence for 1 minute, or until you have the incapacitated condition. That's the same. For the duration, whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll for the first time on a turn, the attacker must succeed on a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC, or the attack misses instead as the creature recoils from your majesty. Once you assume this majestic presence, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest. In the old version, whenever the creature tried to attack you, they had to make the charisma saving throw. And then if they failed, they couldn't attack you at all on their turn. And the attack that they tried to make against you was wasted. Or they had to choose a new target entirely. And then on a successful save, if they succeeded, they would have disadvantage on any saving throw against a spell that you casted on your next turn. So this has been reined in quite a bit, but I don't think it's useless. I think this is still pretty good. It's at least potentially a free miss. It's
That
definitely not as good.
like it feels like it was meshing more with the battle control strategy, but I also feel like it kind of didn't pull the full trigger when it comes to like, all right, cool. This person's grappling over there. This person's dropping his weapon over here. This person can't attack me. Like it's a like I get the idea, but I feel like it could have just done a little more.
Yeah. Even if they had cut out like the last sentence about the success stuff, I
Mm.
feel like they could have kept it as it was, at least for the back half on the failure. I think
So
I
I
still think
agree.
it's okay, but it's not as good as the old feature.
I get it. I'm okay with it, but it
Yeah.
could have been more.
Then again, this subclass is pretty front loaded to begin with, so it may not matter to you once you get to
Mm,
if you get to 14th level. Some campaigns don't go to 14th level anyway, so it may not matter to you at all.
also fair.
But yeah, I think this subclass is in a pretty good spot, especially all the free spells that they get.
Oh yeah. No. Mirror image is just always a great spell.
All right, let's talk about College of War.
All right.
So we got a nice, studious looking individual. Still very much a bard character,
Hmm.
wearing
A
like
storyteller.
sequin pants and stuff.
It's giving me adventurous Miss Frizzle energy.
This is like Miss Frizzle, studious professor energy.
That's a Strixhaven teacher right there.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, so it's not too different. At third level, you still gain proficiency with 3 skills of your choice.
Mhm.
Um, Cutting words is still, I think it's still the exact same way. Except, they did take out this last sentence. Oh, the creature is immune if it can't hear you or if it's immune to being charmed. So it is slightly buffed in that way.
Dang. Oh, that's gonna be good.
Yeah. So it's just, yeah. So that's no longer a stipulation. So that's kind of nice.
Mhm.
It's still you can reduce a damage roll or an ability check or attack roll with a reaction bard die, which is pretty good.
Mhm.
The sixth level feature is the one that's seen some slight change. So at sixth level, it used to be additional magical secrets. Now it's magical discoveries. So the way that this works is essentially you get two additional spells from the cleric, druid, or wizard spell list, or any combination thereof. And it could be a cantrip if you wanted a cantrip, or a spell. And
Hmm.
the really cool thing about this is, yes, you get the spell. The spells are always prepared, but when you gain a bard level, you can replace one of the spells with a different spell that meets the same requirements, which you couldn't do in the old magical secrets. So,
So then,
yeah, so as you gain higher levels, you could replace the spells that you pick up from here with higher level spells potentially, which is kind of neat.
so every level up with this subclass, you could technically change 2 spells every level.
Yeah,
Your bard spell and this
and
extra.
yeah, and this spell, and one of these spells.
Oh,
So
the chicanery.
yeah, so this is a lot more has a lot more potential than old magical secrets in my opinion.
Oh,
At
okay.
least since you can swap them out.
Mhm.
But you could also choose some really good spells that you would just want to keep with you the whole time, which is okay. And then Peerless skill is pretty much the same, but there is a slight buff to it. So when you make an ability check or attack roll and fail, um, which actually the old Peerless skill was just a ability check, so that's already a buff. When you make an ability check or attack roll and fail, you can expend one use of Bardic Inspiration, roll the Bardic Inspiration die, and add the number rolled to the d20, potentially turning a failure into a success. On a failure, like if you still fail the ability check or attack roll, you don't expend the Bardic Inspiration die that you just used, which is really cool. So this is overall this is a pretty good buff because it now affects attack rolls and um it uh, doesn't expend the bardic inspiration die if you still end up failing the check.
All right. Help with extra spells. The bonuses are just a added sugar. So yeah, I think that'll be a. I think it's good, and it just feels like a buff. Just kind of just reading it over.
Yeah, it's definitely a slight buff.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a buff in the sense that you can use it on attack rolls now, and it doesn't expend bardic inspiration die if you still fail, which is a nice thing. I like that you're not punished for failing. Or you're not punished for failing on the thing that you spent uh,
Hmm.
stuff to do.
You, you're not punished for the attempt.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
All right. Well, let's talk about the new College of Valor, which I actually think this is the last subclass that they
Nice.
changed.
I think my most recent bard was the Valor bard.
I think you may be correct. So yeah. So this is the cool art for the Valor Bard, which is pretty neat, I gotta say.
And it's the rapier.
Yep, there's a rapier. So it's
I'm
back.
they couldn't get away from it for too long.
Yeah,
But I do
you.
like the harp shield.
Yeah, the harp shield is pretty neat. I also like Dragonborn art. There's just not a whole lot of it.
Mm.
So combat inspiration. Still the same. So there's a when you give a creature a bardic inspiration die, they can use it in one of the following ways. There's a defense option, and then there's an offense option. The defense option is when they're hit by an attack roll, they can use a reaction to roll the bardic inspiration die and add the number rolled to their AC against the attack, potentially causing the attack to miss. And then the offense option is immediately after the creature hits a target with an attack roll, they can roll the bardic inspiration die and add the number rolled to the attack's damage against the target. Which is it's the exact same thing here. They just uh change the wording up a little bit. And to replace bonus proficiency, or well, not to replace it, instead of bonus proficiencies, it's now called martial training at 3rd level. So you get proficiency with martial weapons and trading with medium armor and shields, which is the same. And in addition, you can use a simple or martial weapon as a spellcasting focus to cast spells from your bard spell list. So that's pretty
Oh,
nice. It's a nice little
oh yeah.
upgrade.
That,
Yeah. Since you're going to be
does it
wielding
act,
a weapon all the time.
would it act as an arcane focus, or would that have to be something else?
Oh yeah, it's a spellcasting focus now.
Okay.
So you can cast spells through the your weapon basically now.
So we can still have sword, shield, bard.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Extra attack, surprisingly got a buff actually. So,
How?
well, you can still attack twice instead of once when you take the attack action, but you can replace one of the attacks with a cantrip that has a casting time from the action. So this is Bladesinger
Oh,
extra attack.
oh, that's rude. I love it.
Yeah, it's Bladesinger extra attack, which is really cool.
Oh,
So this is what I was saying.
whatever.
This is what I was saying with the upgraded True Strike. You
Hmm.
can you potentially now are going to be using True Strike in place of one of your attacks to deal extra radiant damage, and then you're going to be making your regular attack with this.
I'm not crying, but they made it good.
Yeah, and then battle magic is the same. You can make a weapon attack as a bonus action whenever you cast a spell that has a casting type of action, which is still okay.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all the changes to Bard.
I am genuinely happy. No major I feel like nerfs per se that will be like noticeable in as the with the subclasses as given. I would be very interested in playing the new not Valor Bard. Sorry. Uh,
I
Scroll
mean,
down for me.
there's the Valor Bard.
Not the Valor Bard.
Or
The second subclass.
oh, Glamour.
Thank you. I'll be interested in playing a Glamour Bard. I haven't yet, and I think it'd be fun for that kind of overall battle control and role play abilities with the extra spells given.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think overall they boosted the main class, and the subclasses are in a slightly better spot than they were before. So I think overall you're ending up pretty stacked as a bard, especially in terms of spellcasting too, with new magical secrets, the way it works.
Passive question: would
Yes.
you say a good majority? as spells given, kind of with the new subcategories, have they changed them in a way that would make? Hmm, how to ask this question? Have they changed in a way that makes the spells feel stronger or like more tactical in a way?
Oh,
Or at least,
are you asking like are there like spells that would be really good to take as a bard now that your options are
yes.
opened up? Well, I know one of the main like meta talks right now is about there's a particular spell that would be really good to take if you were a a Valor bard
Mm.
because it's kind of broken. It's the new conjure while it's the new conjure minor elementals. So they've changed all of the conjure spells now. So the new version of the spell creates a emanation that comes from you in a 15-foot radius, and it makes your attacks deal an extra 2d8 damage, which is acid, cold, fire, or lightning you choose. And then creatures in the emanation, or the ground in the emanation, is difficult terrain for enemies. The broken part about the spell is when you cast it with higher level spell slots, the damage increases by 2d8 for each spell
Oh,
slot. So if you're playing
you know what?
a 17th level Valor Bard,
Mhm,
you can make 2 attacks per turn. If you were to
mhm.
cast Conjure Minor Elementals with a 9th level spell slot, which I don't know why you would, but you could. Let's say an 8th level spell slot. Let's be kind, because we're saving our 9th level spell slot for Words of Creation later on. You can deal an additional, or let's just say the 9th level spell slot for argument's sake. So this
Mhm.
is a 4th level spell, so it's 5, 6, 7, 9. So that's an extra 10d8. So you'd be dealing an extra 12d8 per attack.
That is, you know, because it's just cursed,
Yeah.
take,
Which
take
granted, you're probably gonna have to do this on melee attacks.
mhm.
What I don't think you're gonna care about that.
Not really, if you combine that with what's that one cleric spell, that gives you a circle of radiant or necrotic damage. You know who I'm talking about. Uh,
uh, is it a concentration spell? Because this is a concentration spell.
oh, never mind. It's a you can't double concentration.
Yeah,
Unless there's a feat for that.
granted, you're going to be using your concentration on this, but essentially that's potentially
That's a
an
lot of
extra.
damage.
Yeah, that's potentially an extra 6, or what did I say? An extra 24d8 damage on top of whatever your
Worth it.
weapon is dealing. Exactly worth it. Worth it every time.
Is mirror image a concentration spell?
Mirror image, I believe, is a concentration spell. Or no, it is not actually.
Oh no!
Oh, also, mirror image is slightly better too.
How so?
So it's different. So you get the 3 duplicates, and then whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll while the spell's active, you roll a number of d6s for each of your remaining duplicates. And if one of the d6s is 3 or higher, the creature hits one of the
Mm,
duplicates instead of you. So
fabulous.
there's a there's a 50-50 chance on each die that the
There's
creature
just
hits a
3 dice.
duplicate instead of you. So this is potentially better than old mirror image because it's going to happen more often that they hit the duplicate instead of you.
Oh, that is the crazy combo. Okay, yeah. I
Yeah,
will. I will avoid that outside of emergencies.
yeah. But I mean, all that to say that the bard is in a pretty good spot.
I would say so. I'll
Yeah,
be happy to play the new bard.
yeah. Bard is looking pretty strong. But yeah, that's pretty much all the changes to Bard. I think overall they are at a net plus.
You know what? I'd be happy to play one. I'm curious how the rest of the game has shifted in accordance to the new. Better yet, how fighting creatures feels. But
Oh,
I'm curious to get there.
if you're interested, we'll definitely talk about Fighter because Fighter is a powerhouse.
All right, fighter's my second most played class, so
All right, well, that is going to be it for this video. Whoever is watching, thank you for watching. We greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. Thank you for helping me out, Xavier. I really appreciate it.
no problem, brother.
And we'll catch all you guys later. Peace.
Peace.